Good morning. My name is Katie Bartholomew. My pronouns are she, her. I have the joy of serving on your board of trustees. It is my pleasure to welcome you here this morning. If you are here for the first time, thank you for joining us. We invite you to complete the new visitor forms that are in the pews. Everyone present in the sanctuary today is welcome to join our in-person community time immediately following the service. As Unitarian Universalists, we affirm that love is the power that holds us together and is at the center. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. Next Sunday, we'll be holding a remembrance service for all ages, and all are warmly welcome to bring a photo of a loved one who has died for remembrance altars. Due to space constraints, smaller photos work better. Reverend Roger has a pledge update for us.
All right. As of Thursday, we have $560,000 pledged for 2026. Huge leap from the week before. That's awesome. We have a week left, and we have heard from 159 households, and we have about 300 who pledge. So, good news if we all, me included, get our pledges in who haven't yet. So that's the challenge, because we really want to wrap it up by the end of the week. There's still match money, and if you are not a member but feel like you want to support this place financially, it is okay if you pledge. No pressure though, no pressure at all, but there's a table for those who might be interested, new or been here and didn't get to it, where you can take care of that today. And so I'm excited where we are and excited to see where we end up. Our testimonial today comes from Larry Kamea.
Good morning. I'm Larry Kamea, and I use the he, him pronouns. I'm really not comfortable talking about myself, so my wife Lynn, as she often does, has some suggestions. First of all, do not speak in bullets, like all those memos I wrote for years. And then secondly, I must use that F word, feelings. And an Asian male just not comfortable doing that. So anyway, here goes. I'm a third-generation immigrant, Sansei. My grandparents left Okinawa 1905 to go to Hawaii to work. Growing up, I attended the Iao Congregational Church on Maui. Even as a teenager, I remember being connected with the sermons at the church, because the sermons were about life and issues, not about the Bible. I actually learned very little about the Bible in my life. My first wife was Episcopalian, so we attended that church, and we raised our 2 kids within that church. I did not believe the creeds that were an integral part of that service, but found the rituals of the church quite comforting. My second wife, Lynn Hensel, who got married a long time ago, and she became a Unitarian while she was in college. We were active in the Birmingham Unitarian Church in Michigan. It had a superb choir, not as good as what we have here. And if you were here last night for the concert, you know what a splendid group it is. And the sermons of that church also resonated with me, because like Iao Church, they were about life and living, not about the Bible. When I received a job offer in Chicago, we had 2 important considerations for where we lived. One, a reasonable distance from a UU church, and secondly, a nearby Costco. We moved to downtown Chicago in 2008 and visited every UU church from Evanston to Hyde Park. And we found Unity Temple to be the most welcoming. Although not nearly as welcoming as it is right now, Tina and now Val have built a truly remarkable greeting team that really embraces and engages all the new members. This has become my spiritual home. Sorry. This has become my spiritual home in a way that no prior church ever became. You have helped me weather the current emotional chaos. For example, last week's service was truly moving. Scott Ossang's service was an effective call for action right after the No Kings March, and the music, as usual, lifts my spirits. The Mindful Meditation Community, grounded me during the pandemic and really helped me endure the pain of radiation treatment when I had throat cancer 5 years ago. Even through the Zoom camera, the warm support of that community really could be felt. My soul connection groups continue to raise tough life questions that I struggle to answer. When I facilitate Pathways groups, I get to revisit and re-examine my religious journey. These groups and the friends that I've made here have really helped me, bring me a lot of joy. They help me stay centered and focused on how to live and how to love. So as you can see, for me, Unity Temple is a very important community, and which is why I support it financially, and I ask you all to do the same. Mahalo.
We are so glad you're with us today. I invite those of you who are here in person to take a moment to greet one another.
I'm Reverend Emily Gage. My pronouns are she and her. Our chalice lighter this morning is Sophie. Sophie likes to sew, and she loves to go to preseason Packers games with her family. We embrace all people and all football fandoms here at Unity Temple. Please join with me in the words of our chalice lighting. We are Unitarian Universalists. This is the church of the open minds, the loving hearts, and the helping hands. We take care of the planet Earth and each other.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you, Betsy. My name is Diana Coates, and my pronouns are she, her. And this morning, I am your pulpit associate. This summer, I was visiting with a group of friends up in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. And the group of us, we go every year and in the summer, and we always go over to the dairy farm that sells really, really good cheeses and butter. And so it was at this visit that I met one of my newest friends, my squeeze cheese. Now, I bought it for my grandchildren because, you can kind of squeeze through here. It's a sensory, one of these new sensory things. But I found that every time I walked through my kitchen, I had to squeeze it, And so we became friends. I don't know if the grandkids are going to get it or not. So when Roger sent me the topic for my talk, Green Bay Packers, Unity Temple, and you, I thought, my cheese kind of went, And then I thought of my experience of going to a Green Bay Packers game. Have you ever gone? And all these people are wearing these baseball hats. Yeah, with blocks of cheese on them. Yeah, there's a fan back there. And it always made me laugh. And my little cube just kind of squeaked again because she knew there was something good. I love it. I didn't know that was coming. Anyway, do they not make you laugh? We need to laugh now, right? So, but here's the point. And what's unique about the Green Bay Packers is they are not owned by a fat cat owner or private equity company, but they're owned by the fans. So, and a better word for it, instead of owners or consumers, would be investors. Now, are you getting a little hint of maybe where this is going? So I'm just going to own it. I am a Unity Temple fan. And I have invested, I already made my pledge. I have invested because there's so many returns belonging to this congregation. The profits have been many, and I've been deeply inspired every week by our wonderful ministers, inspired, motivated, and uplifted. And what about our music? You think it cannot get any better, right? And it does. And that's Marty. And if you were here last night, oh my God, there was another example of her excellence. And what I really love about this congregation is there's so many unique ways to live your values. You can be involved in social justice issues, specific causes, in whatever area floats your boat. And you can choose not to. That's what's great about being a Unitarian. You always have a choice. And if there isn't an existing group, you could always make one or join one. For me, I sound like Larry. I jumpstart my day pretty much every day at 8:25 with mindful reflections. And for 5 minutes, one of the facilitators leads an inspiring poem or sharing. And then for 20 minutes, we meditate. It's available 24/7. Like the mail, it must go, well, not like the mail anymore, but it's 24/7 every day. And it's really, really helped me a lot. I keep looking at this adorable little girl here. And anyway, so it's available on Zoom, so everybody can come, and it's free, so it's great. One of the other things that I love so much is Soul Connections, and we have a theme-based packet that's available to anybody, whether you're in a group or not. And they're small groups, and they meet once a month, so you get to know people a little bit better. There's groups all different days and also available on Zoom. So you're probably saying, what is she doing? I want you to think about this. What is she doing with that cheese block? Which, by the way, I've been squeezing through the holes thinking I will give it to my grandchildren. I will give it to my grandchildren so they can open it. But I opened it this morning. And so here's the deal. We don't have, well, our minister has a cheesy hat. But if you've invested and made your pledge, I am going to let you squeeze my cheese this morning. And I'm going to take it fully out. It's never been fully out of the box. So I'm going to take that out, and you can squeeze it maybe more than once at coffee hour. I know. I really wanted a drum roll for it, but that's the story. Anyway, thanks for listening. And now to get grounded, whoever you are, wherever you are on your life's journey, and wherever you are in the world, you are welcome here. Come, let us worship together. So we're going to sing number 38, Morning Has Broken, and it's up on the screen, or you can use your hymnal, the gray hymnal.
Please join us in reading the words of our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and the service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God.
Good morning. My name is Jay Cohen. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a member of the spiritual care team. We always say this is the church of the open mind, the loving hearts, the helping hands. And one of the ways we live that out is by sharing the joys and sorrows of our lives. If you would ever like for one of your joys or sorrows to be shared from the pulpit, you can write it in the book right outside the sanctuary before the service, or you can email us anytime at spiritualcare@unitytemple.org. Please know that all of us are here. The spiritual care team is here to listen and be with people in times of both joy and sorrow, so please reach out anytime. Here, the only item that was shared today was an appreciation for the Unitarian Universalist ministers and other participants who were at the Broadview Detention Center on Friday morning sharing a flower communion, trying to bring peace to an absolutely heartbreaking and impossible situation. So thank you for those who helped make that possible. We know that many of us are holding other joys and sorrows in our hearts. If you'd like to honor one of your joys or sorrows, feel free to put a stone in one of the water bowls around the sanctuary. That water represents the love that is large enough to hold all our joys and sorrows. We will practice this in silence. Let us begin.
I have words today that are from the Reverend Sean Neil Barron. It's an excerpt from a forthcoming collection called Glitter Blessed, a collection of queer and trans blessings, poems and spells to conjure courage, summon joy, and banish shame. This is a blessing before the next shoe drops. Blessed are you who know the world is no just place, that it doesn't get better unless we drag it kicking and screaming towards mercy. The battle never ceases, friend. Blessed are you who still stop and watch the light hit your lover's face just right, who noticed the kid on the bus reading the book that saved your life once, who know that revolution starts with refusing to let them kill the tender parts of you. The miracle isn't that we're winning. The miracle is that we're still here, still choosing each other, still believing tomorrow deserves us. Amen. Blessed be. If you are someone who likes to come close, I invite you to come and sit down on the floor near me. I don't know if you noticed this, but I've been hearing a little radio interference or something, so I don't know where it's coming from, but we can hear. The organ? It's from the Oh, it's the organ. Okay. I have a story today called Pumpkins. It's by Mary Lynn Ray. Once upon a time, there was a field. It was a particular field in a particular place where it lived among young hills that would grow up to be mountains. Across from this field, there lived a man who loved it. One day, a sign appeared in the field. It said, "For sale." The man knew what that meant: bulldozers, houses, streets, and streetlights. The man cried. He wished he could buy the field, then it could always stay a field, but he had very little money. He counted what he had left, and it wasn't enough. So the man sold his furniture and his paintings and his silverware and his pocket watch. He sold everything he owned except his bed and his stove and his bathtub. Still, he didn't have enough. What could he do? The man talked to the field, and the field said it would help. They considered growing Christmas trees, which the man could sell in the city, but trees grow slowly. There wasn't time. They considered growing cows, but they would need a barn and milk pails, which they didn't have. Then the man thought of pumpkins. The next day he went to the farm store and bought an envelope of seeds, which he scattered in the field. The rain came and wet them, the sun came and warmed them, and they grew. Soon the field was covered in pumpkins, and they grew and they grew and they grew. When it was time to harvest, there were 461,212 pumpkins, which the man planned to sell for $1 each. That would be enough. He rented 1,400 trucks, 37 boats, and 800 airplanes to carry them away. A rug merchant lent him 100 flying carpets for the rest. The man got an atlas and looked up all the kings of all the countries. Then he telephoned them and told them he was shipping them some pumpkins. Where there were democracies, he called the congresses. Every king and every congress he talked to said the same thing. Why should their people buy pumpkins, want pumpkins? They didn't know about jack-o'-lanterns. They didn't know about pumpkin pie or pumpkin muffins or pumpkin ice cream. Many of them did not even know about vanilla ice cream. So the man wrote 461,212 tags to tie to his pumpkins to explain what they were for. Luckily, he knew how to write in many languages. Then he sent the pumpkins out. When they arrived, these round, orange, heavy, bumpy pumpkins, people read the tags and bought them in Dundee, West Ham, Darlington, and Motherwell, in Shanghai, Fuzhou, and Bangkok. All over the world, in Kiev, Killarney, Khartoum, and Tashkent, in Quito, Quebec, Cairo, and Cadiz, there were jack-o'-lanterns being carved. There were pumpkin pies baking and muffins muffining. Now the trucks and boats and airplanes and carpets emptied of pumpkins returned to the man carrying dollars. He had enough money to buy the field. And he had some extra, which he used to buy new furniture to replace what he had sold. But he didn't replace the paintings because he had the field to look at. And he didn't replace the watch because he had the sun and the stars to tell him when it was day and when it was night. The man might have planted more pumpkins. He had kept one back for seeds. Pumpkins would make him rich, but he had everything he needed. So he decided to give the seeds away, because somewhere, someone might love another field pumpkins could save. The end.
My name is Kim Conrad Junius, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm a member of the LGBTQ justice team, LGBTQ gender and reproductive justice team. Instructions for the offering are on the screen and in the order of service. Each week, Unity Temple shares the collection evenly. One half supports the programs and mission of our congregation. And this week, the other half goes to New Moms. New Moms' mission is to strengthen families by partnering with young moms as they progress towards housing stability, economic mobility, and family well-being. New Moms believes in the strength, ability, and potential of all families. They have locations in Oak Park and Austin, and today, Bright Endeavors, their job training program, will be holding candle sales during the community hour after service. 100% of Bright Endeavors proceeds go to New Moms nonprofit programs, providing housing, job training, college success, and family support for young moms. May we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Emily Mays. I look a little different right now, I understand. I'm the intern minister here, and I have a reading to share with you all. This reading is titled Famous. It's by Naomi Shihab Nye. The river is famous to the fish. The loud voice is famous to silence, which knew it would inherit the earth long before anybody said so. The cat sleeping on the fence is famous to the birds, watching him from the birdhouse. The tear is famous, briefly, to the cheek. The idea you carry close to your bosom is famous to your bosom. The boot is famous to the earth, more famous than the dress shoe, which is famous only to floors. The bent photograph is famous to the one who carries it, and not at all famous to the one who is pictured. I want to be famous to shuffling men who smile while crossing streets, sticky children in grocery lines, famous as the one who smiled back. I want to be famous in the way a pulley is famous, or a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do.
I think I neglected to say at the start that I use he, him pronouns. Reverend Roger is my name. I have offered a topic in a church service auction for almost every year, maybe every year of my 30 years in congregational ministry. There's been a ceiling of what anyone would pay for the sermon topic until this last spring. I first got wind that something was up when one of the bidders shared how high he went, which was 50% higher than anyone had ever paid before. And then he said that the other bidder after that more than doubled his bid, so that it was pushing 4 times what anyone has ever paid for it. I bowed out, my source informed me, and I wonder, who bid this up so high? Well, that makes 2 of us. So I logged into the website for the auction, and I found out who the mysterious high bidder was. The name really didn't register with me. Who is this person? And what's his agenda? I was very nervous, very, very nervous. So I reached out to the winning bidder by email. I'm curious what topic you might have since you paid 4 times more than anyone has ever paid for this. The reply came, my first pick is a theme that we both know and love, the Green Bay Packers. Right? Right? So alone in my office, I laughed so hard. I texted my family. I'm in Chicagoland, for crying out loud. For 25 years, I offered a sermon topic in Appleton, a half hour from Green Bay, and no one ever picked this. And the Packers are the local religion there, even for Unitarian Universalists. Now I'm serving a congregation 12 miles from Soldier Field, and someone wants me to do a Packers sermon? How ridiculous! How wild! How deliciously ridiculous and wild. So I'll keep the identity of the winning bidder secret. I'm going to call him Joe. Joe Doyle. Joe Doyle, who I hadn't actually met before much, if at all, because Joe, every Sunday morning, is in Gale House with our 2nd and 3rd grade kids. That's his Unity Temple. Right? And so here is Joe. Hi, Joe. He's got the Packer tattoo, all right. So what happened is Joe read the bio that accompanied my announcement at Unity Temple's developmental lead minister. He noted that we have a commonality. We are both Packer fans. I have to say, Joe, I wondered if including that in my bio might be a mistake for this one, but anyway, we both come by Packer fandom naturally. Joe grew up in unincorporated Swamico, which I know is just a few miles from Green Bay, from Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra. I lived for 25 years in Appleton, which is a half hour away, and yes, I embraced the local religion. So here's a picture of my family at the first game we all got to go to, Christmas Day 2011. And since you asked, the final score was Packers 35, Bears 21. And the Bears scored most of the points in the last 7 minutes in what we call garbage time. Hence the Packers' Christmas cheer. So this makes me think about a picture that Joe sent of himself at a different Packers-Bears game. In case you can't see the scoreboard, it's Packers 35, Bears 7. Yeah. Here's Joe with his daughters at a preseason game just a few months ago, posing with the Bishop of Green Bay. And here is Joe asking his daughters a very important question.
Will you guys ever be Bears fans? Are you sure?
Yeah.
So my son Ian and I went to the 7th coldest game in Lambeau Field history in 2014. You'll see a before and an after picture. Joe was actually at the same game, and it was really cold. So not only are Joe and I Packer fans, but we also own the Packers. You heard about that from Diana. So yeah, one of your ministers and Joe, and I know some other people in this congregation are NFL owners, just like Jerry Jones, the Dallas owner who Dallas fans and enemies alike hate. So we're just like Jerry Jones. Except that there's actually 538,000 of us. So, yep, the Packers are the only publicly owned, nonprofit professional sports team in the United States. As owners, we are actually invited to the annual meeting. We're invited to vote on who's going to get elected to the board of directors. My son and I went several years, here's Ian, at an annual meeting. And really was a typical annual meeting. Reports, going over the financials, election of new board members, super boring. And though Packers shareholders come from all over, some even live in Chicago, the heart and soul is in Northeast Wisconsin. It truly is a community-owned team. This is why people like my son and his significant other show up when snow needs to be shoveled before a big game. There is a community investment in the team that is literally unique. We are not consumers, we are owners. The whole community owns the team. The Packers' home at Lambeau Field reminds me of a certain pumpkin field we just heard about. So this is the twist in the sermon. This is what leads me to Unity Temple. There is sometimes a tendency, especially in large congregations, for members to see themselves more as consumers than people who invest of themselves, invest of their time, passion, vision, talent, and money. So I had a theory when I came here that this consumerist mindset can be particularly true of congregations with architectural landmark buildings. And this is the second congregation I've served that was designed by a particular world-renowned architect I'm going to call Frank. The other one was the most consumerist congregation I had ever encountered, and I'm not talking out of turn here. I said this to them several times. There was a more often than usual expectation that staff served at the beck and call of members. I heard more than one person say that the chronically poorly paid staff, that was offset by getting to work in this architectural monument. Cue laughter, right? Okay, so anyway, so I feared the worst when I was hired to come here. But I have to say, in spite of the twin challenges of pandemic and a messy minister transition that preceded my arrival, the investment rate here is much higher. My working theory about low investment in congregations that live in architectural monuments turned out not to be true. Hallelujah. So someone shared lately that something clicked for them, a member here, when they heard dearly departed, beloved Unity Temple member and membership director Rich Myers talk about the privilege and responsibilities of membership. Member responsibilities include giving as one is able, time, passion, vision, talent, money, whatever the combination is. Okay, I'll be honest with you right now, that responsibility includes sending in your pledge. Unity Temple has a very talented staff. I'm amazed at what this staff does. And it's a smaller staff than a few years ago, even though the congregation is approaching the biggest size it was about a dozen years ago. There is nothing we know on the staff, nothing that could be done here without volunteers. I was thinking last night of Marty at the concert. She could have been there directing. If there was no choir, it actually wouldn't have been a very good concert, right? It's a sign, a symbol. As the congregation has gotten larger in the last few decades, there's a natural enhancement of responsibility and authority for professional staff that's necessary given the scale and scope of activities in a large congregation. But there is no less need for volunteers. If not for the Joe Doyles of Unity Temple, the people who teach our kids and our youth, the people who volunteer on justice teams, the people who sing in the choir, serve on committees, serve on the board, take care of the buildings, facilitate soul connections, serve as worship associates or spiritual care listeners, caring for members in need, leading small groups, running programming, on and on and on. Sorry if I left anybody out. Without all that, Unity Temple is nothing. With so much relentless anxiety, suffering, and terror in beloved Chicagoland right now, I'm holding with special love and appreciation all of the communities of people invested in Chicagoland. Friday, at the ICE Processing Center at Broadview, Unitarian Universalist clergy and music leaders led the weekly interfaith service. The focus of the UU service was on our Flower Communion. We remembered the story of Flower Communion founder Norbert Čapek. With immense courage, Čapek continued to speak out against the Nazis in Czechoslovakia, even after being arrested and released, even knowing the price he might pay. He was murdered at Dachau, but his witness and inspiration live on in all of us. Given previous Fridays at Broadview, which sometimes included peaceful protesters getting gassed, hit by pepper guns, pushed by billy club carrying police, some were not sure that it made sense for them to go. And these atrocities are not abstract there. There's a Unity Temple member who was assaulted and may enter a class action lawsuit, assaulted by law enforcement. I personally have profound misgivings about going every Friday. Going to Broadview is a powerful witness, but it is not the only one. Some of us are called to Broadview. Some of us are called to the front lines. Some of us are called to help kids walk home safely from school. Some of us feel called to intervene with whistles and cameras when ICE agents abduct a neighbor. Some feel called to bring food to the protesters. Those who opted out of going to Broadview, it is okay, it is okay, it is okay, because here's the thing, it is all good. We aren't all Norbert Čapeks, but we all are part of the answer to this latest chapter in oppression. It's just like Unity Temple. We will thrive in the case of what's happening in our country or locally. We will thrive if we find our place and chip in. That's investment. That's the ticket to transformation. So I was there Friday, but I was not an organizer. I had the joy of passing out some flowers, moving a table, putting some flowers at the end in the fence. The movement didn't need me to be a leader on Friday. Didn't need me to jump over barricades or get arrested. On Friday, for me, what it needed was me to show up, pass out some flowers. Beautiful people, discern where you are called. Find your place and invest in Unity Temple, in the community, in that which you love. Find a place and invest. I want to circle back to football for a minute. Joe suggested that I plant the seed that this could be part one of a two-part sermon. Yeah, so he's mulling over bidding again, and that is a credible threat, friends. Or maybe part two will go in a different direction. A Bears fan will outbid Joe. Can't wait to find out. And finally, departing from usual Unity Temple decorum, I have a few questions for you. I'm hoping you'll answer the questions. Please be honest. Be as loud as you want. Sorry, Frank. Outdoor voices even are okay. You could even pretend you're at a Packers Bear game. I don't know. So last instruction, though, with these questions, there's only one answer to these questions, which is yes. So if you can't answer yes, you can be silent. It's really okay. There may be more silence with the first question. So first of three questions. Joe, this is for you especially. Does the world need the Green Bay Packers? Yes! Second, does Chicagoland and the world need a strong and vibrant Unitarian Universalism and Unity Temple? Yes! And third, are you invested in Unity Temple? Yes! Our closing hymn is number 318, We Would Be One. Bears fans, Chicago Bears fans, and Green Bay Packer fans alike, we would be one. Let's join in singing together. You can all be assured that though I'm tempted, I am not going to do a Lambo leap up to the Packer section at the end of the service. Anyway, our closing words are back to the poem by Naomi Nye Shihab. Be famous in the way a pulley is famous, a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do. Let's join in the chalice extinguishing words. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.
Thank you.